Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to those of you who are here in the sanctuary and to everyone who's watching from off-site today. We're so glad that you're here. About 2.5 years ago, Stephen Liening joined the staff here at Emmanuel as our organist, and it's been such a wonderful time that we've had sharing his talents. He's been an amazing addition to the music staff here, and so we're sad to see him go, but we celebrate this day. You are in for a real treat. I've gotten to hear some of the rehearsal time, and it's amazing what he can do with his piano. So really have a treat coming for you today. I wanted to, the program is on the back, and it got smaller than I thought, so I apologize for that. But the movements under the Beethoven Piano Sonata, there's 3 movements there, and then under the Bartok or Romanian dances, there's 6 movements there. I just wanted to make sure you noticed that. So if you're worried about when to clap and you need to count, that's your warnings there. He will play through all those movements with space in between. So just wanted to let you know that was coming. And then, of course, that information, his impressive credentials down at the bottom. We are doing this concert today as a fundraiser for missions as well. Room in the Inn is an ongoing mission that we do here at Emmanuel. And I'm going to have Jackie talk to that in just a moment. Jackie, who is also the page turner, so make sure you... But so as you leave today, if you're in person, as you leave today, the boxes have been cleared out from Sunday morning, and so anything you put in there, we know it's for Room in the Inn, so you don't have to worry about that. And if you're at home, there's a way you can give online through Emmanuel's website, emmanuelmemphis.org. I just went and made my donation just about 15 minutes ago online. I know it works. You just have to, from the drop-down menu, you have to open it up, and there's several choices, and scroll all the way down until you find Room in the Inn. And then that way we'll know that that's who that donation is for. So thank you. Welcome, everyone, and so glad that you're here.
So just a little bit about the new Room in the Inn facility. Room in the Inn Memphis has been able to acquire a new facility which is about to be under renovation. It is very exciting. It has 2 wings to it. Room in the Inn will be hopefully moving there before the end of the year. And it will house 2 major shelter components as well as being the home base for Room in the Inn Memphis and for our homeless shelter as well. But one side of will shelter patients who have been in the hospital that need recuperative care and respite care till they can get back on their feet. The other side will be designated for supporting family units who are experiencing financial difficulty and need a place to stay. So we're very excited. You're getting the preview on it because it hadn't officially been announced yet, but it's about to be. So give generously if you can. This is going to be a wonderful facility for the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I'm just going to say a few things because sometimes when I go to a concert, especially a classical concert, I find it helpful sometimes to hear how the performers approach and think about the music that they're performing. The next piece is by a composer named Bela Bartok. He's a very famous Hungarian composer. And he started a field of study that folks these days call ethnomusicology. And one of the most important things that those people do is they're basically musical anthropologists. They go out and they study music that sometimes isn't as well studied. Music, folk music, music that in Bartok's case, because he came from a small town and was in the Kingdom of Hungary, it was the music of the peasants, of the ordinary people, music that wasn't played in the fancy salons and the concert halls as much. And this piece that Bartok wrote, it's called Romanian Folk Dances. And Bartok came from a part of his country that was a lot different back then than it is today. When he was born in the Kingdom of Hungary, it was much larger than what today is the Republic of Hungary. And where he was born, it's now part of Romania. And Eastern Europe used to be a very ethnically diverse place. And where Bartok was born, for example, there were a lot of Hungarians, but there were a lot of Germans, and there were a lot of Romanians, and there were Jews and Gypsies and Rusins and all these different ethnic groups. And everybody didn't always get along together, but they all lived together at least. And Eastern Europe isn't the same anymore, because after World War II, everybody was so angry at each other for all the terrible things that had happened, is that everybody agreed, if you speak this language, you have to go live over there. We don't want to see you anymore. And Bartok, even though he was a proud Hungarian, and he promoted Hungarian music, he also promoted the music of these other peoples who were different from him. And when I hear music of these Eastern and Central European composers from back before the war, it reminds me of that world. It's a world that my ancestors came from. And I'm not going to say it's a better world than the world we have today, because it's definitely not. But it was also a world where people recognized you can be my neighbor, and you can pray differently than me, and you can speak a different language. And not only can I live in peace with you, but I can celebrate the things about you that are different from who I am. So here you go. This is much simpler music than what you just heard, but it also reflects some deep emotional truths too. Thanks. I'll just say a couple things before this last piece. I should let you guys know I was talking to my daughter on Friday, and I was talking to her about this recital, and she said, of all the churches you've worked at over the years, this church was my favorite that you took us to. So I wanted you guys to know that she said that. This last piece is from one of my favorite operas, and it's the first opera I ever saw when I was a teenager in the D.C. area. I also studied double bass, and my double bass teacher, he played in the orchestra for the opera there, and he always had these dress rehearsal tickets, and he was always talking about the shows they were doing, and he was so enthusiastic about it. He invited me to come see this show, and all I knew about the composer Wagner was Ride of the Valkyries, you know. And it was the first opera I ever saw there in DC, and it was a transformative experience for me. I love the music. This piece is from the end, when the two lovers die together. And what's remarkable to me about the music is Wagner's late music, like this music that you'll hear, it has a very slow harmonic rhythm. And what that means is the chords, or the harmony that supports the melody, changes very slowly over time. And so if you allow yourself to enter the world of this music, the experience that you have is it slows down our perception of time. And you could understand why he'd want to use something like that for the subject matter of what this music is about. Two people who love each other, wanting to stretch out their last moments on earth together into eternity. And that's what I think about when I hear this music, and I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you so much, and thank you all for being here and for watching online. Let me remind you that we need to follow protocol as we dismiss from the sanctuary today. So we will be leaving from the front to the back. Just allow everyone their time to pass by before the next person gets up, and we appreciate you being here. Thank you.